Welcome
to LeagueCast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Immediately. Without delay.
Hello and welcome to LeagueCast episode 215. It's the 17th of February. My name is Christopher Puner, and with me this week, we are without a Nick the King Cooper. But thankfully, I'm not flying solo today. I've still got an Aiden Frost Rock Arts.
Can you do a show by yourself one time?
No, if you want it to be 10 minutes, and then I'll go through. I'll probably just answer emails. I don't know what else I'm qualified to do alone. I don't know.
Hey guys, it's your host Christopher Puter, and I'm here today by myself to present you episode 260 of LeagueCast.
And all right, well, I'll see you guys later. It's been really great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hit us up
What
on
have you done
Facebook
this week,
and
Chris?
Twitter. This past week, wow, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No,
right
I was
now?
like, I was monologuing for your.
You were still monologuing. I thought you were just like undercutting and just like trying to completely throw me off because this is already weird. There's only
I'm
two
the
of us.
host now.
I was like, Jesus, this episode just got taken over. Oh, but do you want to just roll with it? I mean, I could talk about my week first.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about your week.
Okay, well, all right, Chris, thanks. Well, this past week, I played a little bit of League. I got into my series for Silver 3. I was 1-0 after I ended the day yesterday, and then I played a couple of duo queues today, and now I'm out of my series, and it was unsuccessful. That's a shame. It's a shame and a half. But I'm in full Ezreal mode now. Remember how I was saying that, I wasn't quite sure. I was like pretty much on the tip of admitting that, maybe I just kind of need to bite the bullet and just play a bunch of Ezreal, but I was trying to resist it because people just keep giving me shit about it all the time. He's so good, and I'm like good at him, so like I can't not play him.
He's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, I'm just hurting myself in the long run, especially now that like Blue Ezreal is back, like the legend is back, So
yeah, exactly.
Got to take advantage of this season of Blue, as it were. So there's that. I mean, I had a pretty successful week. Getting into series in the first place is a sign of success, even if I did fail it. I just need to start probably doing solo queues because I happen to just not play very well or have really terrible luck whenever I do duo queues. So maybe I'll just solo queue for a while. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
No, probably not a bad idea. Been playing a little bit of Rocket League here and there again, which is great. That's a great game. I always forget how much I love that game. And then every once in a while, I'll pick it back up and be like, wow, this game is great. And then I'll put it down for another month and a half. Been trying to play WoW since I resubbed last week. Probably played like 2 hours total, maybe. It's a slog. It's really hard,
It's not a great game right now.
No, not right now. It's really, really dead. I was like, maybe it's hype season. Maybe it's time, for me to start getting excited about Legion again, and maybe I'll start carrying again. And I was like really excited. I sat down like, this is going to be a great intimate couple of months with me and this game getting back together, And it's still just it hasn't changed. When it was born, I dropped it before, so no.
Just play MapleStory with me.
I have actually never.
You want to make MapleStory cast?
I've never. No, I don't want to do that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know, Aiden. I've never tried it, so I might play it and fall in love. And there's a possibility. Let it not be said that I said never. Okay.
Dude, I play it like once a year, and then I put like 30 to 50 hours into it, then I drop it because it's MapleStory and it has like...
You were saying.
And the best part about it is like the game doesn't even become a game really until like you hit like level 100, level 120, which is usually where I stop, and that's where all the fun shit begins.
Really?
But it's just like you've played so much of that game that you're like, I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore. It's not a fun game.
I just don't know how the whole 2D thing works out. Like, is it all just like very instanced, or...
I mean, like, well, 90% of the game is grinding for levels.
Right, I mean, it is an MMO, so...
Yeah, you kill shit that like spawns, you get experience. But like the fun part about the game is once you get like your job advancements, you get all these really, really cool skills by like level 120.
Right.
Then you can start doing like, kind of like raids, almost not like kind of like raids though. You know what I mean? Like they're a thing. Like you go through all these different stages of a boss thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
You like collect all these different items, you kill all these different things, and then the boss gets summoned, and then you like fight with like 4 to 8 people taking down a boss, and then you get loot, which randomly drops.
Okay, so that's a raid, I guess.
But that's after you put like 60 hours. I guess it's kind of like, wow, this is the parallels to WoW right now, or until MMO is scary.
Like, yeah,
it's like,
you just
but
go
like,
with
the
a bunch
thing
of
is, you have
friends,
to
it's
grind
weird.
up all these levels, just like an MMO.
Yeah. I mean, the format, just the whole 2D thing is a little bit weird for me.
You ready for another parallel?
Please tell me.
The next most fun part about the game is merching, which is like buying and selling items to make profit.
Right.
So like you try to haggle someone down on an item worth like 35 mil, get them down to like 20 mil, and you try to sell it for like 35 mil.
Right.
Which is pretty well like how you obviously buy and sell different types of like ore and shit, I guess, in WoW. Or like, it's like the parallels in this game are crazy that I've never made before.
I mean, that was how RuneScape was though too. Like that was the most fun, was like trying to buy and sell stuff.
Oh, dude, merching is so fun in games like that.
Especially when there was no auction house or general store or anything like good, and everybody was just pretty much just like free open market, like just trading.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the
it's
old
pretty
days.
cool.
Yeah, that was good shit. Anyway, but MMOs, whatever. What else did I play? I played some Destiny, of course. You know, can't not play Destiny.
I'm sorry.
PvP's been fun. I haven't done a raid in a couple of weeks just because I haven't had a lot of time. I've been really, really busy. It was Valentine's Day this past week. That was cool, I guess.
Cool with a K.
It was fun. Did a thing. And what else? What's next to me? Let's see if this reminds me of... You know what game I didn't play?
What game did you not play?
Starts with an F and ends with an All-Out 4.
Oh no.
Remember how I said I was going to play it? A little
Dude,
bit?
you've been spending too much playing Banjo instead of Fallout.
I've been playing Banjo-Kazooie. I have been. I'm at 100 jiggies, I think. No, I'm sorry. I'm at 60 jiggies right now, and I have like over 600 notes. I've been playing it little bits at a time, little spurts. But then one time I sat down and played it for an hour and a half when I was heavily drinking, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I don't know how I'm retaining a lot of the things that I did when I played this like at a friend's house a really, really, really long time ago as a little baby Chris, but I remember everything. all of it. And I'm like, why couldn't you have made room for trigonometry in high school in your brain for this? But you remember that when you see this thing, you need to shoot 3 eggs into it in quick succession in order to get this button to show up so that you can go into bird foot mode and then climb this hill and then beak blast it and then you know, like, it's the dumbest shit. And I think that's it game wise. I don't think I really did anything else really fun.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, work's been fun, I guess.
Work is work, isn't it?
Work is work. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
Definitely not wrong.
No, not wrong at all. I do have to share that before the show, Aiden said they should have a fucking crab champion that doesn't ergot. That was probably the highlight of my week.
There's a lot of cool like animal champion that they should have.
Yeah, I want a zebra champion. That's what I want.
Or just a duck champion.
Oh, a duck champion would be fucking awesome. Quack, quack, motherfucker.
I would main that champion.
Yeah, or we could have a really great duck champion skin for Cho'Gath, where his scream is actually him just quacking really, really loud. That'd be great.
I prefer like a duck AD carry. It's an AD carry because your support has to feed it bread. I don't know. That's as far as I've gotten in the design.
It's already perfect. We'll put it on the board next to the zebra champion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Aiden, how about you? How'd your week go?
I'm on reading week, so
yeah.
I'm like, do you ever just look back on what you've done over the past couple of days and then you're just disappointed in your life?
Pretty much every day I wake up and do that.
Yeah. So like, I haven't the earliest I've woken up this week is 11:30, which is not very good in my opinion.
Fair enough.
It's like I haven't experienced the real world yet. I've done nothing but play games really because I didn't really tell my work that I was on reading week. Mainly because I'm like, I'm gonna study and do school stuff. So I don't even work until Saturday. So, yeah, I've just kind of like played games like The Witness. I'm really fucking far in The Witness. Now we have like a bunch of people on TeamSpeak who are all working through The Witness at the same time, which is pretty cool. We have our little community. But it's kind of a weird game to play alongside people because it's definitely not a linear game, meaning that I could be doing I'm really far in the game, but like two people who are like just starting out could be doing completely different things, and you don't want to spoil those things for other people.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird game to play together, but it's really cool seeing other people catching up to me now, and I'm like, oh, I can talk to you about how cool this mechanic was, or whatever.
I keep walking in on people having conversations about it, and it just sounds so like enthralling. You know?
Yeah, I if you love game design, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah. And you do. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. There's 664 total puzzles in the game, and I'm 7 away from like 100%ing it now.
Yeah.
I've put 36 hours into it now, though. So I mean, and I know where 2 of the puzzles are, and they're really hard because they're randomly generated and they're timed.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, and then I don't know where 5 of them are, so I don't know how to get. I'm just confused.
They're randomly generated at the end?
The last thing in the game is just a ridiculously hard thing. Instead of having just your normal hard puzzles, they're all randomly generated and they're timed.
Why?
Because it's supposed to be that is the quote unquote puzzle less than 1% of the player base will be able to complete.
Okay.
Is from what he's, or at least that's the puzzle I'm assuming he's referring to.
Did you do it?
I've gotten really close. I've got like, and it plays this really like what do you say? Like the music is really, it pushes you. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're getting so close to the end, but the music's like speeding up, and it's just
okay.
I don't know, dude. I got so close. I was one puzzle away from completing this goddamn thing, it's so hard. I've probably tried 4 hours of this thing, and it's probably like 5 minutes of music with puzzles and shit, and it's oh my god.
Is the music interactive with the puzzle?
No, well, not really. It's just like kind of it shows you. You turn on a thing that plays music, and then by the time the music runs out, you have to complete every single puzzle there. Okay. And they're all randomly generated.
Okay.
So it's ridiculous, dude.
That sounds like fun. I don't know. So like I'm getting caught between hearing people talk about this game and going like, yeah, this puzzle made me so angry that I wanted to stop and never play this game again, but I'm having so much fun. I'm just like, do I want to do that to myself? Do I really want to buy a game that makes me feel that way?
You definitely have to like puzzle games a little bit. Like I don't like puzzle games like at all really, but yeah. I mean, I kind of just respect game development, so that's what's kind of getting me through a lot of it.
Right. Fair enough.
Other than that, I haven't played any Hearthstone, haven't played any Binding of Isaac. I played a ton of League of Legends though. I think I played like just on my main I played over 20 ranked games.
Okay.
On my Smurfs I probably played like 10 total.
Okay.
On my main account, though, like, man, it is rough. I failed 3 series to Plat 4 this week already. 3. In 20 games, I got my series 3 times and failed all of them.
I'm really sorry. There was no happy ending to the story like there was last week.
And it's sad because one of the games we lost, 2 of my friends like duo with me, and we do like a trio queue sort of thing.
Right.
Friendships were ruined almost one game, dude. It was pretty rough.
Oh god.
Like we like all took a break and then we came back like 2 hours later, but it was like ugly by the end of it because I was like 1-1 in my series, right? Another guy was like 0-2 in his series to diamond, and the other guy was like just mid points or whatever. The enemy team had double jungle. First of all, they had Lee Sin, Udyr jungle. They had Blitzcrank mid. They had solo Corki bottom, and they had Nautilus top, and we lost. Like, we didn't just lose, it was like a 20-minute loss where they like just crushed us.
How?
Double jungle's spooky, dude.
How did that happen?
Their mid Blitzcrank was on like a rampage or something. Like, I don't know. So, like, I'm sitting bottom, because, like, I'm playing a regular bot lane. I'm playing Cogman at my like, I have this random support. And we're duo laning against fucking Corki. So, like, I'm up CS on him. And every other lane's dying, and I'm trying to be like, yeah, you guys should just play safe. And they're like, fuck you, you have an easy lane. Yeah. And it's like, no, but I'm doing the best that I can. And then everyone's just mad, and then it was just bad. And then, yeah. Dude, we got tilted so hard. I don't even know.
Sounds like it.
I'm actually upset.
I had a good experience today in a game that I forgot to share that I meant to.
Go right ahead. I would like to hear it.
Where my friends didn't get mad at me because I didn't play with any.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's the trick. That's the trick, matey. So I'm playing ranked, right? And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna play this game. And they had an enemy jungler, and he was a Malphite. And we're playing. And this Malphite, he shows up at exactly the right time to do the smallest amount of damage, but walks away with all the kills. And before you know it, he's like 5-1 or whatever, because they're playing pretty well. And he just goes straight AP. Just straight fucking jungle AP Malphite. So he hits like a fucking truck. And I'm playing Ezreal. And whoever decided that the range of Malphite's ult needed to be a mile long is wrong. That was ridiculous. But he's like playing really well, and before you know it, he's like 8-1, 9-1. He's like 10-2 or some shit. And this kid is just talking mad trash, just like mad trash. He's like, "Ooh, hard game, jokes, boys. GG, easy. GG 10 minutes ago. Man, imagine this game was difficult. Like, wow, oh my god." And like somebody on my team is like, you know, you were just really incredibly lucky with getting lots of last hits on kills early in the game, and you're just being a rude jerk right now, right? And he's like, "Yeah, but do you realize how trash you are? Like, come on, bruh, come at me." And so they get us down far enough. They have both of our Nexus turrets down.
Yeah.
And then this Malphite just backs instead of probably helping finish the game. And so he's just laughing and talking. She's like, "I'll be back, don't worry about it. Just need to get my guardian angel." And we end up turning that game around. We catch them out in the jungle, we get Baron, we sweep through mid, and get their inhibitor turret, and then catch them out again, and then just sweep and win the game. And he went from talking shit to going, "Oh, now finish, my team is trash." And then they killed 2 of us before we swept the second time. He's like, "Wait a minute, both everybody here is trash except for me." And then they lose the game, and then at the end of it, all 9 of us in all chat are just like shaming and just like yelling at this kid, and he just like hangs out. Like the after game chat was so great, and I was like, never before have I ever seen a troll bring so many people together under a common banner. Like,
yeah.
It was really, really great.
It's really cool seeing like both sides of the thing. Like like you see him shit talk you guys, but when it goes the other way and everything starts going poorly, you just see everyone turn. Like you see how nasty it gets when it goes the other way.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I mentioned that game where we had they had mid Blitzcrank double jungle, solo lane Corki bottom, top Nautilus. It's like they didn't say anything in ult chat, but could you imagine if we were winning that game? How nasty that would have turned?
Oh, sure.
They would have been like, "Report our double jungle. Motherfucker didn't pick jungle but took jungle. This guy picked mid Blitzcrank." Like, it would have been so bad. But
because
whatever.
they won, it was okay.
Exactly.
Right,
That's all
but
that they care about.
No, it's
Makes
just
me
a lot
sad.
it's just a lot of positive or negative potential at this point in time. But it's been 18 minutes, and we haven't gotten into our show as of yet.
I just wanted to say, as for games, I was looking at my
Go
Xbox.
ahead. Sorry, yes.
Because I don't play Xbox things.
You should play Destiny with me sometime, man.
No, what we should do is find either 2 other people or just play through it duo all through the Halo games. Because I need to get achievements for Master Chief Collection.
Okay, I can do that.
Because I need the 4,000 gamer score for it.
We should live stream that.
That would be cool, though, like a playthrough of all of them.
I can make that happen. Well,
that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, well let's put that on the list. No promises, good listeners of this show, but maybe Aiden and I will streamathon the Master Chief Collection. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, just letting everyone know the list is fictitious and it doesn't exist, but it may or may not be floating around in this hemisphere. Holy fucking shit.
Atmosphere?
Yeah, whatever. I was gonna say just floating around in the brains of ours, and it may come to fruition eventually.
Hemispheres is the right way to talk about brains.
Yes, I understand that.
Right.
Yes,
right.
But that doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense.
Anyway, hey, what doesn't make sense? Why we've been talking about not LeagueCast.
It's only 19 minutes
for almost 20 minutes. Yeah. Let's go into the news this week. Is there a lot of news this week, Aiden?
There's very little news this week, Chris.
Great, cool, man. Let's fucking go to it then. Whatever.
Let's do the less cool thing first. So, MSI, or Mid-Season Invitational, is heading to Shanghai. So the date for that is May 4th to 8th for the group stage, and May 13th to 15th for the knockout stage. Group stage is going to be double round robin. Knockout stage is going to be best of 5. So the spring split winners from NA, EU, LP, LCK, LMS will, plus a wildcard team will be invited to this event. That's pretty well all the information we have is the date of it. But I mean, last year MSI was at Madison Square Garden,
Yes.
And it was a pretty cool event. So be sure to look for that. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to attend unless we have people who live in Shanghai, which maybe.
Yeah.
But either way, it will be a cool event to watch online.
Do you think anybody has ever made the joke Shanghai more like Shang Hello?
Shanghai. Next topic.
That's a good one.
Worlds. Worlds the cooler thing in my opinion. So
No, I'm jazzed.
Anyways, so Worlds was announced and group stages will be on September 29th to the 9th at the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium in San Francisco. Pretty cool. Quarterfinals will be from October 13th to the 16th in the Chicago Theater. Pretty cool.
I'm excited. I want to go.
Semifinals will be October 21st to 22nd at MSG in New York. And finals will be on October 29th at the Staples Center in LA.
They're doing the Staples Center again.
Yeah.
This is the first time they're repeating to a venue.
Wait, was it season? No, season 2, right?
It was 4.
Wait.
Or
4?
3. It was season 3. They did Staples Center, and then they did the World Cup, and then they're going back to the Staples Center, right?
What was year 2? Where did they do year 2?
Wait, hang on a sec. Maybe
year 2 was somewhere smaller in LA, right?
yes. It was like a convention
year 3 was
center.
definitely Staples Center though.
Year 3 was Staples Center, and then year 4 was not France, because France was last year. It was season 5, right?
Somewhere in Europe.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was France because remember they had the Worlds Collide video with the fucking Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that was 6.
Yeah.
Right? I mean 5.
That was 5. That was last year, and then
4 was Korea.
4 was Korea. Right.
Seoul, yeah.
Yeah, they did the that was in the one that had the FIFA World Cup in 2002. That center.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool as fuck.
Yeah, so there's been some controversy around this whole thing. Just looking at the seating of all the different places, the group stages have a seating of 7,000 people. The quarterfinals have a seating of 3,800 people. Mm-hmm. MSG has a seating of 18,000, and Staples Center has 18,000. So, meaning one of these things is not like the other, being that the Chicago Theater seats like half the amount that the group stages seat, and those even seat like half the amount that semis and finals seat.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to procure tickets to go, which is a shame because basically as soon as this news went up, literally everybody that I know that likes this stuff was like, "Do you want to go? Do you want to like grab some peeps and go make a day of this?" I'm like, "Absolutely, I would, but how the fuck are we going to get tickets?"
Yeah, trying to get every single one of your friends' tickets is going to be crazy hard.
No, I mean, I'm just concerned with getting, like myself and maybe like a handful of others for like select people. Like if I took everybody with me that I knew wanted to go, I would need to get like 20 tickets, which just isn't.
No,
fucking
but what
happening.
I'm saying is like if everyone's like, "Oh, cool, we all of my friends we play League of Legends and we like this and we're in the area," chances are one of those people is not going to get tickets.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is kind of poopy, but
I mean, chances are, depending on how popular this is going to be, most of us won't.
Yeah.
But we'll see. When did they go on sale, do they say?
July's when the tickets for last season went on sale.
Okay.
I think there was batch 1 in July, then batch 2 in like late August or something, I think.
I'll just stop bathing and eating into my computer until the end of August, I guess.
I'm just going to start refreshing the website right now.
Yeah.
So, end of time.
It's fine. Cool. Okay, well, we'll kind of get that figured out. I mean, we already had somebody ask on Facebook if we were going to go as a LeagueCast to the quarterfinals. And the answer is, if we can, absolutely. But we'll see about getting tickets or whatnot. Maybe we should ask around. Maybe there are people that can help us. That'd be cool.
Dude, if we got tickets for all of us, dude, I would fucking buy a flight down. It's not that expensive either, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like literally $300 round trip for me.
Plus you can just stay at my house. I have a guest area set up. You don't have to.
Is the guest area in your bed?
I mean, it can be. Baby, I did just get a new mattress. You want to help me break it in?
Yeah, really. I was just gonna say, like, Riot has pretty well come out and said, like, well, first of all, they're not going to talk shit about any of their areas, but like the theory is that the Chicago Theater being I think they're kind of owned by MSG or something like that. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So MSG probably gave them a discount to have both of them, or like promoted them to take the second theater or the second viewing area,
Right.
for a lower price, or just for their actual venue.
Right.
And then Riot has pretty well come out and said that learning from Seoul, where the finals held 40,000 people, they're like, bigger isn't better. It was a lot harder to get like their technical equipment to work properly. They felt like having the smaller areas, like I think Brussels last year or the year before had 2,000 people at the venue, at like I think one of the group stage venues.
Yeah.
And they're like, that was a really fucking cool experience. Like just a small little venue for a bunch of people to experience something. So I understand why they're doing it here, even if like the idea of MSG owning Chicago Theater, but
I mean, even if that is the case, it's a good excuse, if anything else, for them to be like, yeah, we want it, one of these needs to be smaller, I guess.
I mean, they've done it enough that I'm apt to believe them. So whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they would be the people. They are the leading experts in this area.
Exactly. Not too many other people host worldwide LOL events.
No. And then I'd be curious to see if, because of this, if they have sanctioned viewing areas around the city, they might.
Ooh, that would be
also
really cool.
Promote. That would be really neat, because there's a lot of, because it's not only just us in the Chicagoland area that do League of Legends podcasts and communities and stuff like that. I know of a few others as well that are pretty big. I think Lola is from around our area too, aren't they?
That's so funny.
Yeah. They're also Chicagoland as well. So, I mean, that'd be pretty dope if we could get either everybody to go to the event, or at least go to the same viewing thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you guys have any suggestions or ideas or input about this, feel free to shoot us an email at mail@leakcastpodcast.com. But any other news, Aiden?
That is it, dude. There's been nothing this week.
There has been nothing. But that's okay, because fortunately, our show doesn't hinge on that most of the time, unless there's a patch, and then it's like an hour of us talking about a patch. But lucky for you guys, that's not the case. So we're going to go on to the Champion Spotlight. And this week it's Jace, the handsome dude, with the hammer. And he's got a little story to tell. It's not overly long. And for those of you that are like, when are you guys going to start doing a champion that's relevant and new and stuff? Well, next week, unless they release a champion that beats out Jhin alphabetically, Jhin is next.
They released Jace's brother.
Dark Jace, but the dark is like in parentheticals on the right side of the name instead of the front. Jace Dark. That'd be great. All right, cool. He uses an axe instead of a hammer. It's pretty much just like a Garen Darius dynamic. So what about Jace? Let me tell you. Armed with wit, charm, and his signature transforming hammer, Jace lives to protect his native Piltover. Long before his nation called him a hero, however, he was a promising young inventor. He has a story to tell. When Piltover commissioned him to study a rare arcane crystal, Jace discovered it could be used as a vast energy source. Eager to make a name for himself, he began developing a device to harness its power. I already see where this is going poorly. Word of the crystal's potential reached beyond the borders of Piltover. Victor, the machine-augmented scientist from Zaun, brought Jace an offer. Together they could use the crystal to advance his, quote, glorious evolution, quote, a vision of humanity fused with technology. Jace refused. I don't know why. But the Zaunite had no intention of leaving empty-handed. Intrigue. He effortlessly blasted Jace aside and seized the crystal, incinerating the lab's meager security force as he left for Zaun. Jace implored the Piltover government to respond, but the officials pretended like they didn't see anything. Actually, it says, refused to support an act of aggression. bunch of whimsical pussberries. He decided to act alone, realizing that if no one struck back, Piltover would never be safe. Vigilante justice. Jace returned to the lab to prepare for his attack. After intense research, development, and hands-on testing, he emerged with his crowning achievement, the Mercury Hammer. I guess they left out the part where he put out all the fire and rebuilt the thing from the ground up because it was destroyed or whatever.
No, he's just working in like the burnt up,
the
crispy
rubble
lab.
Yeah. The hammer is actually just made from pieces of rubble of his building, just duct taped together.
Yeah.
Weapon in hand, Jace marched to Zahn and began his one-man assault. What a badass. Victor's acolytes rushed to stop him, but Jace smashed them aside, fighting his way into the heart of the lab. Inside, Jace saw the horrifying brilliance of Victor's creations, all powered by the energy of the arcane crystal. He realized that his only option was to destroy the power source, but Victor stood in his way. Though their clash left both scientists heavily wounded, Jace managed a desperate strike at the crystal. He shattered it and escaped as Victor's machines erupted in flames. When he returned home, exhausted but victorious, the citizens of Piltover hailed Jace as a hero. He reveled in the adoration, but knew that his actions had drawn the attention of dangerous enemies. Now devoted to the defense of his people, Jace is Piltover's best hope for a bright future. Trust me, if we're smart, Piltover can stand strong against any threat. Hey, I'm living proof. Jace. On fire. Homeless. Great. That's Jace, boys and girls. We don't have our ability reader this week, so do you want to do it, Aiden?
Yeah, because I want to make a dumb joke halfway through.
Oh, please. Thank you.
I thought of it halfway through and I was chuckling to myself. Okay?
Great.
I'll see if you can guess it. So anyways, we're going to start it with his passive. Passive is Hex Tech Cap. What the fuck is that
Capacitor.
word? Oh, that is capacitor. That is a word.
Capicider.
That is a real word. Didn't make that one up.
Statistically, it's a really difficult word to say.
It is. It's like a lot of A's. There's two.
Yeah.
Each time Jace casts Transform Mercury Hammer or Transform Mercury Cannon, he is ghosted and gains 40 bonus movement speed for 1.25 seconds. We're going to go through all of his gun abilities first, and then we'll switch to the other ones. So Shock Blast, his Q. Jace fires an orb of electricity that detonates upon hitting an enemy or reaching the end of its path, dealing damage to all enemies around. If Shock Blast is fired through Acceleration Gate, its area effect, range, and damage are increased by 40%, and its speed by 30.34. Why is it that? Whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways, so
Balance.
his W. Jace increases his attack speed to 2.5 on his next 3 basic attacks within 4 seconds, with each one dealing modified damage, and it scales up per level. His E, Acceleration Gate. Jace deploys an Acceleration Gate for 4 seconds, granting all allies who pass through it, including himself, bonus movement speed that decays after 3 seconds, or over 3 seconds, sorry. So it declines as you're running through it. And then his ultimate, so this is where he just transforms between the two different things. So his Gunwood would transform him to Mercury Cannon. His Gunwood would transform to Mercury Cannon. So Jace transforms Mercury Cannon into the...
If he's in gun mode and he uses it, it transforms him into Mercury Hammer.
It's why are we getting confused at how this works? It's so straightforward. Anyways, Mercury Cannon into the Mercury Hammer, gaining new abilities, melee attacks, armor and magic resist, causing his next basic attack to deal bonus magic damage.
Right.
So then we're gonna switch over because you know what time it is?
What?
Hammer time.
Oh god, fucking shit. How can I not notice that? What is you gonna say? You know what time it is? Hammer time halfway through. And maybe that one will go over my head. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I thought you would see where I was going with it. I thought it was really funny.
I want to live in the world that you live in your head.
You were reading there's lore, and I'm like, oh god, it's a hammer. Anyways, his Q for his hammer form. Jace dashes to the targeted enemy and smashes his hammer to the ground, and dealing physical damage to all enemies in the area and slowing them for 2 seconds. His W is Lightning Field. The passive on it is Jace restores mana each time he hits an enemy with a basic attack, while in hammer stance. Jace surrounds himself with an electric field for 4 seconds, dealing magic damage to each second to all nearby enemies is the active. Just makes a giant fucking ball of electricity around himself.
Yep.
Thundering Blow is his E. Jace swings his hammer at the targeted enemy, knocking them back and dealing magic damage to them. This damage is capped against monsters. And then obviously his ultimate is he switches from hammer into the cannon. Jace transforms the Mercury Hammer into the Mercury Cannon, gaining new abilities and ranged attacks, causing his next basic attack to reduce his opponent's armor and magic resist by scaling up to 25% for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it allows them to dive really quick.
Yeah.
The one thing that we didn't mention was the acceleration gate shock blast.
Well, I mean, it mentions it in the ability, in the Q ability, like I said, but
it
you
does?
shoot your Q through. Yeah, it does. I'm reading through the Wikipedia.
Fires an orb or the other thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's somewhere else in the page that I'm looking at. Never mind. So when you got there, I was like, let's come back to that. Neato, dude, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty all right,
bro. Yeah, I know he's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. So that was his abilities. What role are we playing, Mr. Handsome Hammer dude? Where are we playing him?
I would say top, but I think he can be played mid just as well.
He can be now. He can, especially now.
And I mean, they're built the exact same way in both lanes, so I mean, it's not like it matters.
They are so
except for taking Telly versus Ignite or Telly versus Barrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He used to be able to be played in jungle.
I mean, for a little bit, that's like trying to say that he used to be able to be played in AD carry.
Fair enough.
I'm not wrong.
But I feel like it was more common to see him in jungle than it was AD carry. But
people still play him jungle. I just don't think he's as good.
I've seen him in AD carry as well. I've played him in AD carry. It's interesting because, when your support dies after you get caught for like 2 seconds, you're like, I can do this, and you switch to hammer mode, and then you die anyway. But he's a cool champion. All right, so let's say top. I feel like that's probably.
Well, I mean, top and mid are built the same way, so it's not like it's a big deal either way.
Yeah. All right. So what about skill order? Let's talk about skill order first. What are we maxing?
I would max Q.
I would max Q as well.
The cooldown gets reduced a lot by the time it's max. So I mean, I would start it with Q and I'd probably max it, followed by his W.
I was going to say W as well, although I've seen builds where they max the E first, and it depends on what sort of build you're doing. If you're doing a more of a tanky sort of bruiser build, or if you're going just like a lot of AD, depending on like how you're doing in lane. I know if you're doing really like a straight like AD sort of thing, you want to max the W first, because at your maximum level when you're doing the attack speed increase thing in cannon stance, the amount of bonus damage that you do per strike is actually more, and it's at max attack speed and stuff. So it's pretty strong like that.
And also, he's really good for peeling. So if you're in a lane that you're going to lose, you're going to lose. If you can put points into it, to lower the cooldown, just knock them away when they engage on you. Mm-hmm. It's always pretty decent.
But if you're building tank, the percentage based on the knockback is just
pretty
great damage.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really good damage.
Well, I mean, it's based off their maximum health, but I mean, still, I just like it for the cooldown, if anything.
Yeah,
so
why the fuck not? And just pushing people around is always a good time.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I'd go QWE in that order for maxing them, and that order for leveling them, actually, in my opinion.
Yes,
so
I would as well.
I think they all work pretty damn well.
They do. It's a neat fucking kit. All right, what are we building on him? You said it was the same build for top and mid, but what constitutes that build?
So the way I like to think of Jace as a character is he's like the harder to play, not as good Ezreal.
Okay.
It's not a bad way to think about him.
Fair enough.
Because you want to build kind of the same items. Like, think of blue Ezreal. Like, you want to build stuff like Tyr in the Muramana. You want to build... that might be the only comparison, actually. Lucidity boots, of course.
Pretty much where it ends, yeah.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, I just always think of him as like the not as good Ezreal, though. They do kind of fill the same role.
Obnoxious poke that you don't know where it came from champions, yes.
Yeah. But at least my build on him would... I'd build Lucidity boots whenever you feel the need to pick them up. I would build Tyr into Muramana, because those are kind of super fucking important. I'd probably go Yomu's as my next item. And then that's where the build, I think, starts to split between tank and more damage, right?
Yes.
Like, Yomu's is good because you proc it, and then you do 1,000,000 damage with your E, your attack speed buff. Or, no, it's your W, sorry. Your cannon attack speed buff. But, like, I do like tank Jace more than... not tank, like a bruiser Jace more than full damage Jace, because full damage Jace, your hammer form is almost useless unless you want to die while fighting. Right. So when I build tank Jace, I go stuff like Steric's Gauge, which allows you to initiate and get a huge shield when you get bursted. So, I mean, it allows you just to actually stay in the fight. Black Cleaver is another damage item, but holy shit, is it so good on champions like Jace. Just like, pretty well every bruiser should pick up Black Cleaver if you have the gold.
Black Cleaver in this champions build would be a higher priority pick than like Hydra would be on champions like Renekton or Lee Sin, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, I mean, also the fact that he's not melee all the time kind of probably plays into that.
And I was going to kind of make that into a comment that's discounting I wouldn't ever get Hydra on him. I think it's actually on his suggested list. It might be
that
on
would
his...
seem really weird.
I think it is. I'm not sure, actually. But, I mean, when people think of top bruisers, even though he's a little bit weird in that he also has ranged attacks, they might think, oh, should I consider Ravenous Hydra? Or the Titanous Hydra, whatever the other one is? No. No, you shouldn't. Don't do it.
Yeah, so his build is very similar to like a generic bruiser build, but you build tier and you can also kind of take a different path and build a little bit more damage. Like, of course, you build, like, if you're against AP, you build Maw Melmortius.
Yeah.
If you're against AD, you probably might want to build even a Deadman. Despite it being, like, maybe not perfect in his build, because, like, you don't really want that much tank, it's still, like, an auto attack buff for one hit, and it's a movement speed buff. So, I mean, those are both really, really good on him.
Right.
And then, of course, you go into generic items like we've mentioned before. Like, obviously, you have to build Muramana. Cooldown boots are the best boots for him. But then is, like, generic tank items. Like, whether you want to go Sterix Gauge, whether you want to go Black Cleaver as a, like, kind of bruiser-ish item. It's really your choice at that point. And then, of course, once you've reached late game, you can decide, do I want to build one more tank item? Or do I want to build a Bloodthirster? You know what I mean? Or what?
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? You actually have that choice. So he's kind of weird.
I just get really excited whenever somebody says we should build a Bloodthirster, just because to me that's like the sign that the build is almost done. And we're like, Bloodthirster? Oh, we're almost there.
I think Bloodthirster is a really, really good item in the game right now.
It's a really good item, just unfortunately there are so many other key functionalities and items prior to it that makes it a lower priority.
Yeah, I agree.
It's usually
there's very few champions you build it first on.
Yeah, it's like a 3 or 4 item build choice on AD carries, and then for these bruisers,
unless you're Draven,
right? Unless you're Draven, but it's like a 5 or 6, if that, on like a top 80 champion that you're doing damage on.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's kind of diverse in the fact that you can either choose like more damage or more tank, and you kind of decide that while you're in the game. And then of course you have generic tank items or generic damage items, which then you choose between. But core, Lucidity Boots, Muramana, do whatever you want after that.
Yeah, just be reactionary, be flexible.
Yep.
Cool. All right, then let's talk about strengths and weaknesses.
Poking is insane. He's one of the best. Well, I mean, he's literally like, he's almost better than Ezreal at poking, which is weird to say.
Right. Well, he's better. He can be better. He can be Ezreal at better. He can be better at Ezreal with poking if you use the acceleration gate, shock blast thing. It does 1,000,000 fucking damage, and it has incredibly long range, and it's probably one of the most satisfying skill shots to hit if you do it right. You're like, wow, I'm so good. I just sniped somebody. That's insane. But here's the thing. It has a long cooldown for that combo, and while the Q is still strong by itself, after that, I don't really know. I mean, his auto attack range, even in range mode, isn't that impressive.
No. There's definitely a reason why they nerfed the acceleration gate and Q combo like cooldown way back in like season 3. Mm-hmm. Because teams like, I know TSM, they used to put Dyrus on Jace almost every single game, and then they would just sit mid, shock blast at like full speed through the acceleration gate, and then until they hit someone. Because when they hit someone, they can just start sieging because that person has to like back because it did 1,000,000 damage.
Yeah.
But now, and then like if the enemy team tried to engage, they'd put acceleration gate down and just run away as a team. But they nerfed that, so now it's actually kind of, you have to actually make a conscious decision, because if you miss that blast, then they're probably going to engage on you, and you're not going to have it for
right.
Like
yeah, you won't have
14
the
seconds.
gate for running away then too either.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with the acceleration gate though too. Like if you're trying to mask it too, like, because a lot of people will dodge it if they see you put down the gate. They'd be like all of a sudden like strafing and trying to dodge you and stuff. But you can shoot the blast and then put the gate down in front of it. Yeah. And or if you're standing in the gate and then you shoot Q, it'll also go through.
And there's a lot of cool, like, he's a really mechanically hard champion to play. Like, there's even something that you can do where when you're just walking and you want to like just walk faster because you put down acceleration gate, you can put it down vertical in front of you, meaning that you're not walking through the 2 pillars of the gate, but you're walking down the middle of the gate, like down a straight line of it. So you get sped up the entire time, meaning that the speed buff starts to wear later.
Yeah, the deceleration starts. Yeah.
So I mean, he's like a really mechanically difficult champion to master almost. But I think he's still useful in the meta today. I think he's absolutely fine.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He's one of the champions that is kind of almost forever in a pretty healthy spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's not OP, of course, but I mean, if you became a Jace main, you could 100% do fine. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I had like that random Jace main add me for whatever reason. He's like, "Come duo with me. I'm a master Jace main," and I'm like, "No, that's spooky. I'm not gonna. Man. I'm bad." Like he's a good champion.
Come join my stable. We have unicorns.
Yeah.
What are Jace's weaknesses? Pretty much just whenever his cooldowns are down, if you miss your abilities or if you misuse your abilities in combo, you leave yourself pretty vulnerable.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I also think he's super item dependent. Kind of like, obviously, Blue Ezreal, meaning that until you get Muramana like maxed and like maybe like an item or two to even to support you after that, you don't do as much damage as you want to do, even if you play the fight perfectly, and you're not tanky enough to... If you mess up, you're going to die, is what I'm trying to say. No, so until you get those items, you really have almost no room to mess up.
Yeah.
Or, like, in fights to be able to duel people. So, I mean, he's really mechanically hard to play, which is kind of a weakness almost. And then he's also super item dependent. So,
just don't be bad and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Right? Honestly, if you became a Jace main, you'd probably gain ELO if you can play him almost perfectly.
I mean, I very rarely see terrible Jaces, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, because the people who play him are fucking crazy good.
Pretty good at it. All right, so the time has come, Aiden. The time is now. Favorite skin?
There's two choices, right?
There's two choices? Out of the four, all right, let me guess. I have.
You're party number one or you're party number two, and I don't hate you for being party number two, but you should be party number one, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, let me come up front and say that I've actually never seen Forsaken Jason game before, so I'm going to take that one off the table. Does this
it's pretty wicked cool.
Me?
I mean, that's pool number two.
That's pool number two? Okay. Pool number one is between Classic Jace, the Full Metal Jace, and Debonair Jace. I obviously own the first, but I also own the other two, because there was a while where I played nothing but fucking Jace. Let's see.
It's not like it's that hard. Come on.
I really like Full Metal Jace. I know that you probably don't feel the same way. I think I've heard you say shit about Full Metal Jace before. I'm gonna go with Full Metal Jace.
You're so fucking wrong. Oh my god. I'm actually upset. Man. Like, everyone knows Debonair is one of the best skins in the entire game.
You're right. Everybody knows that. You're right.
And then they released Forsaken. I'm like, I can see why people like that skin. But it's not as good.
I've never seen it. This splash art looks awesome. When this must have like come out during that time when I just didn't play this game for 3 months.
Yeah, you should see it. He shoots like a red Q and it just like it's fucking cool.
The splash art looks dope as fuck. Anyway,
it's funny because I only own Full Metal Jace. That's the only Jace skin.
It's not a bad skin though.
No, it's not.
In the world of skins,
I just think Debonair is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I own Debonair and it's pretty cool. I just like all the light effects on Full Metal Jace. Plus, I really like StarCraft 2, so
yeah,
Space Marine. Cool. Any other final thoughts on Jace Sereno before we put this bad boy to bed?
I think everyone should try to pick him up. I mean, if you can learn a champion like that, you can probably learn any champion in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the transformation champions, wherein you have to learn, 7 skills and learn to combo them together. So if you can,
I think sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man.
I was gonna say one of the hardest things about having 7 skills is knowing the cooldown of the skills when you're in the other form.
Yes, yeah. That also is true of Nidalee and Elise.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're the champions with that same sort of deal. But, I mean, Gnar is too, but Gnar you kind of have that deal where, like, the transformation thing, you're limited in that you're not switching back and forth rapidly, so that's fine. But with champions like this, absolutely. So, yeah, practice with these sort of guys, even if only to just understand them when playing against them. So you know what to expect. But cool. Thanks. That's Jace. Let's go to the round table.
Hey. I made a really fucking hard question last week, and you guys still had some pretty awesome responses to it, so I really appreciate that. I'm going to make it a little bit easier this week, but we'll get to that in a minute. So last week's question was, which champion, if deleted from the game, would change the game the most, and why? So some of the answers we actually gave were stuff like, I gave Vladimir, because like, it would completely change how spell vamp was balanced. I think you guys said stuff like Master Yi and like...
Annie.
Insert Annie, thank you. Because they're just like almost the most basic of the basic champions. It would kind of be like almost a new era of champions.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some pretty cool answers. I'll read off them. Chris on Facebook said, Shen, his ult and TS makes global comps possible when they're in the meta for competitive play. Without one of the main holy shit. Without him, one of the main component. Holy shit, that's not components. I've read that as components 3 times. When they're in the meta for competitive play, without one of the main competitive play styles, would be a. Okay, that's not my fault. That's not my fault. That's not English.
Without him, one of the main competitive playstyles would be without a crucial piece.
Never mind, that is English.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so he's pretty well just saying that having these global abilities that affect other sides of the map completely change how the game is played. Like if there was no globals in the game, it would be different. Like what if TP wasn't in the game?
Right.
Almost.
Shen would be ridiculous.
I just mean, like, if there was no global things in the game, it would completely different, though. Yeah.
Would we take out global skill shot ults, too?
Yeah, I mean, like, actually, skill shot ults are a little bit different. But, I mean,
I feel like
you're not able to get to one side of the map to the other. Like, it'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. Thanks, Charter. We love you.
Yeah. Dylan said, first he had a previous answer that someone else called him out for, and they're like, nah, that wasn't the question. So, anyways, he gave his second answer. He said, Lee Sin. If you're going to be a good jungler, you have to know Lee Sin. His ability to build in so many ways and his ability to build in so many ways and make so many plays happen is so crucial to the game. And I completely agree. He's kind of the master of all trades. You know what I mean? Like he kind of do everything well.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of the meme when they released him, right? Like it's like assassin, tank, jungler, ranged melee.
Yeah. Lee Sin the blind monk can go into the enemy nexus and whatever freak was saying. I don't remember.
He was like the super champion, which he actually kind of is still.
Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy freak. Look at you go.
Yeah. Eric said, I'd have to say Thresh. He's one of the few champions that no matter what will always have a place in the meta. Regardless of his damage, his utility will always be useful. First you have Hook, which speaks for itself. Then you have Lantern, which can set up some of the best jungle ganks in the game or save a teammate from certain death. Plus, sometimes his shield for the Lantern can also save a life. Followed by Flay, which can disengage or lock someone down a little longer. The ult forces opponents to make a decision, stand and fight, or flee and be slowed and take the damage from breaking the walls. I think, I think Nick's kind of a preacher of this, as Thresh as being one of the best champions in the game.
Yes.
Me and him have kind of always said that Thresh could have almost 0 damage and still be played sometimes, despite doing like 0 damage.
Depending
just because the amount of utility he provides is insane.
Yeah. But fortunately, also for him, he also has a significant amount of damage based on his passive and stuff like that, which used to be more out of control than it is. It's been pared down, but it's still relatively useful.
Yeah, exactly. It still makes
kit,
taking something like Relic Shield good on him.
Yeah, his kit is just disgusting.
It's really like packed full of good abilities.
Yeah.
Andrew said, Fizz, his leaving really wouldn't change the game other than making my ranked games a lot less frustrating.
I feel you, dude. I feel you so much.
I don't think there's very many people who disagree with that.
No.
I think it's an overall agreed upon thing. And then finally, we had a ton of things on Twitter, but a lot of them were memes. So Nate tweeted the LeagueCast Twitter about 800 times with different one-liners.
They were all funny. They were all funny.
Yeah, they were. Shout out to Nate, but I'm not going to read your 18 tweets, my friend.
I would suggest y'all taking a look at our Twitter and maybe reading them there.
I was on the toilet or something. I'm like, one-liner. Oh God, how many did he post? But I read through them all. So anyways, pretty awesome answer we got from Lucas on Twitter. He said, Ezreal, because that's an entire team comp being removed from the game. So we got the meta memes still.
Oh boy, great. You still got you said we got a lot of answers on Twitter, but there were a lot of memes, and then you just read a joke anyway.
I took the best of the best, dude. the cream of the crop, as I like to call it.
Yeah, as it were. All right, Aiden, my suspense is killing me. What is this week's roundtable question?
Chris, which one do you want to do? I have 3.
I don't care. You pick one, man.
Oh my God, I'm gonna do the second one. Who was your first champion that you ever played, and how did that turn out? And what is your current relationship with the champion in League of Legends? So what was the first champion you ever played? How did that game turn out? And what is your current relationship with that champion?
You're asking me to recall the first game of
Do you
League
not
of
remember your
Legends
first game of League of Legends?
I played.
What was the first memorable game, at least?
No, I know the answer, but I'm trying to frame this question for you. Was it 6 years ago now?
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
In a basement, in a LAN party, with sweaty dudes, as a young teenager, young beardless Christopher, and the answer is Master Yi.
Oh no!
I played. Well, there was like 12 champions to choose from. You know,
There's 40.
Yeah, okay, there were a fair amount, but like I didn't have all of them at the time. You know, and Yi was one of the ones that came with the starter pack. I'm like, that dude, he is on box. The physical box that I bought, he is on the front of that.
This guy must be overpowered.
I want to play him. And so I played him, and it was fun and whatever. He's Master Yi. He's always been frustrating. In all of his iterations, he's always been fucking ridiculous. My current relationship with the champion is that of your annoying ex-girlfriend that was your first girlfriend that you got too attached to, but now you want nothing to do with, but keeps showing up at your door every once in a while. And when she does, you're like, I know how to handle you, but I just can't do it because of our past relationship, you know? So I hate him. And every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll play a little bit of Master Yi. But whenever I see a Master Yi, I kind of freeze up and want to die. What about you, Aiden?
Yeah. So I want to preface this by saying my first game was a bot game, so I'm not gonna, I want to say that one just because like I played Rise and I built only longswords, but that's not the one I'm going to say. I'm going to say my first real game.
If everybody did the tutorial, technically everybody played Ashe first.
Well, I mean, I meant like I played a bot game as my first game, not including tutorial, and I played Rise, and I built all longswords.
I just want to circumvent all of the emails we get. Like,
I played Ashe, and I built Thornmail. Every single answer should be I played Ashe, and I built Thornmail.
Please. I kind of want that.
Anyways, my first actual game was on the 3v3 map because that's all I played when I started out the game. I played Kog'Maw because he was free week that week, and I went 2 and it was either 2 and 13 or 2 and 13 or 2 and 14. It was one of the two, and both of my kills that game were from getting my passive kills using Kog'Maw's super good passive, his explosive carcass.
Yep.
So I thought that champion was actually really, really good. Because I thought that even when I die, I can still do a lot of damage. So I thought like he was a very useful character. Little did I know you're not supposed to die and make use of that passive. Because that's a bad thing. But I thought that was funny. In my first game of League of Legends, I got my first 2 kills using something that tells me I'm a shit player. Because I died. Dude, Kog'Maw's a hard champion. Even to this day, I can't play him. So, what's your current relationship with, who'd you say? Master Yi. I want to know. Like, how do you play him? Still,
I already said that. I don't.
Did you?
I don't like him at all.
Oh,
that was the whole ex-girlfriend thing.
Oh shit! I completely zoned you out.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. You just got lost in my eyes on Skype. What is your current relationship with Kog'Maw? You guys still talk? You guys write letters or whatever?
I've tried to play him a lot over every single season because I like him and he has my favorite skin in the entire game because Reindeer Kog'Maw's sick. Right now, I feel like I can play him alright, because he's probably the best champion in the entire game of League of Legends right now, this patch, because Ginsu's is OP, and he's OP. So, I've been winning games in ranked with them. So, I mean, I'm happy with him now, but, like, I know our relationship isn't meant to last. I know as soon as he gets nerfed, dude, I'll just be a fucking shit Kog'Maw player like everyone else. But right now, I feel like we're on good terms.
Okay, well, that's good. Maybe you should keep it like that. Keep it at arm's length, man. You don't want
Dude, I'm going to send out a letter to Riot saying, don't nerf my Bay.
Love and hate are on the same scale, man. If you don't want to get that involved, just don't get that involved, you know?
He's a pretty cool champion, though. Holy shit.
Whoa, you almost fell over this. So Kog'Maw's pretty chill. So if people want to answer this roundtable question,
I think they should hit us up on the LeagueCast Facebook page or the LeagueCast Twitter. There's two pretty good suggestions to respond. Or, you know the other place to respond, Chris?
I don't.
It's mail@leaguecastpodcast.com.
That's
right?
News to me.
Yeah. So Facebook, Twitters, or emails.
You know what else is news to me, Aiden?
Tell me.
LCS stuff this week, because I think I watched one game.
Yeah, I watched like all of NA, but I mean, I didn't watch much of EU. We're missing Nick the LC Cooper S. Cooper.
King.
I don't know. I tried to fit King in there, but I forgot about putting King there,
Right, no,
and I tried to fit LCS in his place.
That's
but
cool. Nick the LCS King Cooper?
LC King S. Cooper. Because you got to put it in the middle of LCS.
Why?
Because you have Nick the King Cooper, like Nick the King Cooper,
right?
But Nick the King LC, I don't know. It made sense.
I'm following.
I'll type it out to you sometime.
Visually in my head, I'm writing this out.
You just know that I'm trying to put shit in other shit.
Sure,
that's
man. Yeah, dude, that's fine.
Anyways, he's not here, and he watches probably the most LCS out of all of us right now.
He does.
I find this meta boring. But anyways, news-wise for LCS, I'm pretty good at that stuff. So TSM released their kind of like life coach dude, Woodbuck. So they pretty well said like he hasn't ever worked in an esports background. He was a basketball type. Was he a basketball coach? Anyways, he worked in actual sports. Is what I'm trying to say. So he never really worked in League of Legends. Like he didn't play.
Whoa!
What?
Let's not say that. Actual sports.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. But what I'm trying to say is he didn't play League of Legends at all, right?
Okay.
So I mean, he was more just a coach to work on player relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it wasn't working out or whatever, so he's been released. It sounds like he was released on good terms, so it's kind of nice. There's no heartbreak or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that TSM had their second 2-0 week and then he's released. But what can you do?
Apparently nothing. That poor guy.
And then Ryu's back this week. So this Thursday, Ryu will be back for EU LCS. And it's funny because Froggen was back this past week in NA, so it looks like all the visa issues are being worked out properly, so that's good. So actual LCS weeks, I just made a couple little notes because I'm not an expert, but Nick the Cooper King LCS dude is here. Isn't here.
Stop it. It's not going to be a thing. Stop it.
So anyways, TSM went 2-0 again. I would call this their first real 2-0 week. Like last week they went 2-0, but they played Echo Fox and Renegades, so I mean, it's not like it's that big of a deal going 2-0. But this week they went 2-0 against like actual good teams. Meaning one of them was CLG, and the CLG game is really fucking good between them. Immortals is still Immortal, but Cloud9 actually almost took that game off of them. Like, Sneaky played Jhin AD carry this week, and dude, it was better than I thought Jhin and LCS play could ever be.
What did I say?
That you didn't watch?
No.
LCS?
No, what did I say when y'all were saying that?
No, you
Jhin
said that he has
wasn't-
potential, yeah.
Yeah, every single time I'm like, I don't know, nobody knows it yet. We'll see it in LCS, and yes,
That's the first time he's been played in competitive though, and they lost. So I don't think it's saying much.
Yeah, but he performed well, you know.
Also, Huni played like shit, so that's the main reason why Sneaky played well. Like,
go.
3 of Sneaky's kills were from Sneaky ulting and then Huni just dying to it randomly.
Really?
Yeah.
Perfect.
One of there's a really good Jhin kill. So Jin's shooting down mid, gunning people down, right? Callista picks up Braum, I think it was, to support, and throws Braum into Jin's last shot. And Braum gets just fucking demoed. Just really good. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch, though. I mean, Immortals games are always really entertaining. And then I mentioned the standings, dude. The standings look like what we actually kind of expected earlier in the season. I'm pulling them up right now. I think I am. Yes, I sure am. But so like it's currently like Immortals is in first, TSM's in second, CLG's tied for third with Cloud9, Energy's in fifth, tied with Liquid, Team Impulse is seventh, and then Dig, Echo Fox, and Renegades are 8th, 9th, 10th, right? Like that actually looks like what we kind of expected from the beginning.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, it's funny because people are like, TSM's still shit. They're playing like shit, and they kind of aren't playing great, but they're in second. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean this is what is this week 5?
we're going into week 6. Yeah,
Going into week 6.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going
I
into
mean
week 6.
we're what? We're halfway through the season?
More than halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would. I don't know. The first couple weeks were weird because a lot of rosters were like inconsistent and they weren't really stable. People were leaving. I mean, people still are, but now we're starting to see where everybody's going to be kind of landing for this.
Yeah, exactly.
This split. So
EU's standings are kind of looking a little bit more like together, but I mean, you still have teams like Fnatic and Origin who we kind of expect to be near the top, and they look good when they win. but they look so bad when they lose. And I expect them to be near the top. But everyone else in EU has kind of settled into their spots. Like you have the obvious bottom teams, and then you have the obvious top teams, and then you have Fnatic and Origin, or like they're probably going to be near the top, but they're not. So I'm confused. As for actual Fnatic games, I literally just wrote down that Fnatic and Origin still look shaky because I mean they should be the best teams by far. Seeming that they both of them finished top 4 at Worlds, but now they're like not top 4 in EU, which is kind of weird. Oh, what can you do though? I guess both of them kind of changed their roster a little bit, and they're obviously still struggling with that. Yeah, so that's kind of our LCS news for the week. Nick, the LCS King Cooper, will be here next week, and he'll have more information.
Yeah, maybe we'll backtrack, and he'll fill us in about last week if we.
Dude, he knows everything about LCS, dude.
He does. It's weird. I don't get it. He has a lot of passion for that stuff. All right, cool. Well, Nick the King Cooper isn't here, so we're gonna skip mail fight. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do it for him. Welcome to mail fight. Here's the mail. It never fails. Even when Nick is out of town. What champion, this is from Eric Doc, what champion, if any, tilt you guys before you even start the game? Oh, I should probably tell you what mail fight is. Every single week I'm like, we say mail fight, but a lot of people don't know what that means. And by the way, I need to clarify something. Now that I have the chance and I'm the one that's doing the section, I want to say, mail fight is not male and then F-I-G-H-T. It's like Malfight with an I in front of the L, because it's a pun. It's a pun.
The reason why no one gets it is because, like, every section used to have something like that. Like, we don't call it the Rising News anymore. Like, we have it labeled and documented as the Rising News, but we never say the Rising News. And there was one more that was, like, another champion name.
I just remember Get On My Level. I remember that one. That was a good section. A long time ago. But it's
like, that's why people don't get it, because we literally have one section that's named after a champion.
Right. Yeah, we have the Rising News and Mail Fight. Yeah, but Mail Fight's a playoff of Malfight, guys. Please. Appreciate my genius. Come on. Somebody sent in an email, like I want to say a month and a half ago, and they spelled mail fight, mail, and then F-I-G-H-T, and I died a little bit and said, I need to fix this. Everybody needs to know. But anyway, yeah, so this is the section where you guys get to send in emails, and we answer them and stuff. So yeah. So anyway, from Eric, like I was saying, what champion, if any, tilt you guys before you even start the game? There is always that one champion that everyone has that they hate playing against. For me, it's the Blanc. I don't normally die to her, but the jukes for days just frustrate me. What about you, Aiden?
So my obvious answer that I would normally go to would be Yorick, but that's because if I lane against them, I'll like end my life. But just more like being picked, like if it's on the enemy team, I might not even lane against this champion, but I'll just like I die a little bit inside. Would be Fizz, because no matter what lane I'm playing, Fizz is going to be a terror to me. I don't even care if I'm playing a tanky top laner who's not even going to die to Fizz, because I know my team's going to die to him so many times, and I can do nothing. I can watch them die. Maybe I'll hit like a stun on them. Doesn't matter though. Fizz is going to go into his troll pole and then still one hit my AD carry.
Yep.
So I mean, it just like my heart stops for a second when I see a Fizz picked. I'm like, League of Legends, boy.
Yeah, this game just got a lot less fun. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
My answer has historically been Fizz as well, and I'm going to stick with it. I hate playing against Fizz, mostly just because there's just so many ways that he's able to avoid ways of handling him. Like, there's just inescapable distance clearing, gap closing, CC avoidance with the troll pull and stuff. It's just the most frustrating thing.
Can we refer to gap closing as distance clearing now?
Do we? Distance clearing? Okay.
Distance clearing.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. Let's move on to the next one from Dylan. How would you feel about Riot implementing a skin donation system? 25k IP or IP for a 975 skin.
So just let me say this first of all. Apparently he's like, I texted Chris last week and he's like, yo, I have a question for this show. And then you didn't put it in the show. And then I'm like, I'll put it in the show. Just type it up or whatever. He's like, do you have the document open? And he's like, just write this down. So I'm like, Dylan,
here we go.
I'm going to write this really poorly. So pretty well he was saying that he was thinking about people who have like a ton of IP. Like I currently have 70k IP. And he's saying that there's no way to spend that IP right now. So what if they implemented a thing that you could donate a skin to someone for like a outrageous amount of IP?
Donate a skin to somebody else for an outrageous amount of IP. So the initial rebuttal is this then creates a conversion rate, right?
Yes,
and that
does.
can be dangerous. But it is so ridiculous that it still makes RP ridiculously valuable, right?
You know what I would like more than a straight up, like, buy this person a skin for 20k IP? Is being able to actually donate one of my skins for IP. Like, saying, I have a skin that no longer can be purchased in the game. Like, for example, Pax Jax, right?
Yeah.
What if I could spend 5k IP and transfer it to someone else? Like, 2 different accounts. Or 10k IP.
I feel like that would just make people buying and selling these skins, like, that market would be, like, wide open.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, because like, I was thinking,
Because 5k is not a lot, you know?
I forget what I'm just trying to say is that there's no way for people to get these skins anymore. But like, if I had a friend who only played one champion and I had a skin that's no longer available, I would love to give them that for like a present or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because that'd be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool.
But there's no way to do that, and I understand why there isn't a way to do that. But I don't think that adding a skin donation like IP to RP converter type thing would be a good thing either. Anyways, they're adding a way to use your IP soon with the what's it called? The hex tech crafting, right?
Yes.
So
there's your IP sync right there.
Yeah.
And we get to avoid all this messy stuff with conversion rates and people doing things against the terms of use and all that stuff. So yeah. Cool. Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, he texted me that question in the middle of the show like 3 weeks ago.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, maybe they can get on the show." And like, it's in the middle of the show right now. I'm not gonna. We'll save it for some other time. And he was like, "Did you get on the show?" And I told him no 3 weeks ago, and he's still like, I don't know. Maybe you made him sound like he was salt, but I know how you vocalize people when they're quoting things. He probably just said, "Hey, Chris forgot. Could you do this for me?"
Dude, I have people that I'm actually just relaying because they brought up a normal point, and then I have people who brought up a point that's maybe not in my best interest, and then that voice I use is the voice I use for people on the internet,
right? Or
my dog,
right?
It's not a very nice voice.
Charlie's a cutie, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. So from MuscoCon, hey guys, been listening a while and thought I'd finally write in. Thanks, man. I have been in Bronze the past 2 seasons with high hopes of climbing. Was 1 game away from Bronze 1 from Bronze 5 in Season 5 post-season, and am much more well on my way this season, but keep getting dropped back to Bronze 5 after making some silly decisions after winning a game at Bronze 4. First, I'm going to answer the roundtable question, and my answer is that if Swain were removed, that would change the game a lot. Reason being that Noxus may not exist if Swain was removed. Everyone would live in Demacia and be chipper, and the League of Legends would never have been invented. Garen would be spinning around in the garden with Katarina, and things would be just dandy for everyone. Therefore, we wouldn't be 6 seasons deep in this game. We would probably all have a love-hate relationship with. That lore.
That was a really good answer. I wish I read that in the section.
I wanted to email in about champion mastery. Besides playing a champion 1,000 times, what are some good learning opportunities that you would suggest to master a champion? Not necessarily becoming a one-trick pony, but what are some methods you use to learn new champions and become competent or master them? How do you become more consistent?
He's making fun of me saying fucking I still can't say it, dude. Statistically.
All right, so let's answer that one question before we move on to the second question, because he has another one on here.
Yeah.
So what other ways besides just grinding the champion and practicing, can somebody get better at mastering a champion?
I'm going to say straight up, watch someone who is a main of that champion or just a high elo player
100%.
Play that champion.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
And hopefully that person that you're watching also vocalizes why they make plays, why they buy certain items, and why they make certain decisions. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really, really good way to learn. I'm sure, I haven't looked on YouTube for a long time for guides and stuff, but, back in even, Season 1, there was a ton of good guides for champions.
Yes, there were.
This is what this champion excels at. This is why I'm playing him this way. This is what this champion does well. Do this. And if you can, do stuff that they're doing, or at least learn why they're doing stuff, even if you don't agree with it, at least you see another, mindset of how that champion functions. I think it's really positive. So just find high or low streamers or video content creators, and then just maybe look at their advice and compare it to what you've been doing.
I would agree. Yeah, I don't really think of anything else other than, you can also visit written guides on all these different websites that are now available for it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, there really is going to be no substitute for practice, though. I'll be completely honest. But yeah, guides and watching other people play. Good way to go. Also, continuing on with the email, how do you feel about teammates picking low-impact, high-risk champions in ranked games? I like that he's using the terminology that we use to describe balance and stuff. I've had mixed experiences where bottom lane, which I usually try to play, Silver Twitch and the odd Ezreal Misfortune pick, will go double support. I saw an AD Zyro support Nami completely dominate an entire game, and an AD Thresh support Leona completely crap the bed. Normally, I just trust my team to do a good job if they're picking these things. How do you tell your teammates that what they're picking might not have very many benefits for the amount of effort they need to put into playing it?
So I'm just going to say you can't. You can't, and nothing you say will change their mind. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like,
focusing on getting out of bronze probably be your best bet.
Yeah, it's definitely minimized probably the higher elo you get, just because people probably care a little bit more about the game.
Yeah.
But, like, as I mentioned before, I was playing with, like, a bunch of plats, and we played against double jungle blitzcrank mid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that worked. I don't think that those people play double jungle blitzcrank mid very often. I don't think they think that's a good thing.
No.
But they decided that game, that's what they wanted to do, probably because they were upset at each other, and it worked. I'm not saying that your AD Zyra support Nami thing is good or bad, but chances are it has probably a lower win rate than Ezreal and then a support or something.
That's a safe bet.
So, I mean, if your teammates want to do something like that, you can tell them, hey, I'd recommend you do something else, but probably if they've already decided that, that's what they're going to do. Like, I was spectating one of my friends' Diamond games yesterday, and the enemy team had Jungle Brand. He did all right, but I'd much rather have any other jungler on my team. So, I mean, it can work playing off-meta stuff, and you're right, it is low impact, high reward in lots of cases, but sometimes it works, and then you just gotta hope. You gotta really just hope that your team wins that. Or if you really want, dodge. You'll lose 3 LP the first time you dodge in a row. Like one dodge, and then if you play another ranked game, you only lose 3 LP, and then you have to wait 5 minutes, or is it 30 for ranked?
I think
either way,
30 for ranked.
Yeah, it's 30 for ranked. But I mean, if you want to just lose 3 LP because you're like, I have a very low chance of winning this game, and it's probably going to stress me out because I'm gonna watch my mid blitzcrank brand jungle AD carry Sona
feed and ruin my series.
Then you might just want to be like, hey, I'll go like walk my dog and wait 30 minutes, then come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just things you can do to try to avoid it. But chances are, if your team does that, just play through it and hope that they play what they picked well enough.
Okay, fair enough. And then there was a PS and a PPS. PS, Fiddlesticks Hackarim should officially be called Stickarim from us combining champions.
That's way more creative.
Yeah. What did we say? A Heckasticks?
Heckasticks, yeah. His is way better.
Fiddle Horse or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Klaj, Klaj, is pronounced Cly, like Sly with a K.
Yeah,
fair
the
enough.
New support fanatic. Cly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Cly.
he's right. That's
Okay.
smart. Thank you.
Noobfulest regards, Muskokan. All right. Next email from Snazzy. Hey guys, so in a few months I will be getting a tattoo of Kindred on my left arm, half a sleeve. I love Kindred as a concept, and when it was released I was going through a very rough patch. Not going into details, but it was very bad. So this champion clicked with me and represented who I was at this point in my life. Now that the water has settled and everything seems to be better, I decided to get the tattoo. My question for you guys is, would you consider getting the League of Legends tattoo? And if so, what champion would most represent you or a specific part of your life? Again, sorry for the bad grammar punctuations. English is my second language. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Snazzy. All right, Aiden, would you get a League of Legends tattoo?
I'm trying to think, because, like, if I was going to get, like, I'm not into tattoos personally, that's just not my thing. But if I was, it'd probably be something very, it would be almost like a symbol or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, something to identify.
Sure.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, does someone like LeBlanc, for example, like, does she have something for, like, the Black Rose organization? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there an icon for that?
There
like,
is.
It would be something like that, you know what I mean? Not saying it would be that, but it would be something like that. Meaning
Sure.
that it looks, it's not completely League of Legends, you know what I mean? But if someone recognized what it was, they'd know what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's what it would probably be. It would be something like that, where it'd be kind of like referential, but it could
Right.
also be cool by itself.
Right. I don't really know. Right, like Kindred is a really, really good one because it's kind of a physical manifestation of the whole yin and yang thing, which is already a popular topic for tattoos, and it symbolizes a bunch of stuff like balance, and dark and light and all that stuff. That's really, really neat, and you can go that deep route with the symbolism as well, like Aiden was saying. Or you can go the really lame way and just have fucking Garen on your arm if you want. You're like, I really identify with Garen because he's a flat stereotype, and that's me through and through. But I don't know. So for me, like, I don't have any tattoos yet, mostly because I'm in the middle of, like, a pretty significant weight loss change, and I'm trying to, like, I want to get my first tattoo when I'm done with that, right? So I get where I want to go. But I would say I kind of want to do imagery with animals. I love animals, so anything with birds or wolves are usually my sort of stuff, but I don't want to fuck with Warwick. That's a stupid champion to get on your arm. I don't want to copy
That's
or
an
email
opinion.
it. I don't. Okay, he's just a werewolf. That's boring. It's super boring. And I don't want to do Quinn because fuck that, right? And Anivia, just put Articuno on my arm instead of Anivia. It's much more relatable. But Aiden just linked a bunch of League of Legends factions symbols, and the Iron Solari one looks really dope.
That's what I mean. Like that's the type of thing I would like all the different faction symbols. Like that's really cool to me.
Yeah, they look really, really neat. Where's the Ionia one is pretty neat too, but I feel like that's kind of lame to do. But yeah, out of these, all right. So just to name off the ones that are on here, there's 20 of them. Right?
I love the Black Rose one. Holy shit, that's pretty cool.
There's one for Bandle City, Bilgewater, Black Rose, Commando Unit of Demacia, Conqueror Sea, Crystal Scar, Demacia, the Freljord, Guardian Sea, Ionia, the Institute of War, the Iron Solari, the Kinku Order, Mount Targon, Noxus, Order of Shadow, Piltover Customs, the Hextech set, Shadow Isles, Shurima Desert, the Tribunal, which, rest in peace, Twisted Treeline, Void Deep Sea, Void Acathia, and Zaun. All these actually look really, really neat, but I would probably have to go with Iron Solari.
Yeah, I just think I love that idea. Like maybe even like a more simplified version of one of them would be really super cool.
Yeah, but if you had to get a champion, I think it's really, what he's really getting at. If you had to get a champion, because for him, his choice is more of a personal thing, right? Like he identified with Kindred because it represented something. The character itself. So not a symbol, but what character represent either you or an experience that you've had, right? And that makes the question more difficult.
Yeah, it is a very difficult question, at least. I honestly wouldn't even know where to start. Like, normally I'd immediately go to, like, who's my most played champion, then see, like, if there's anything there that I could
Yeah, mine's
salvage.
Alawi. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, mine's Draven. That mustache is disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I definitely have to think about that a lot more to actually have a real answer, I guess. You know what I mean?
I might say Kha'Zix.
Yeah.
But it would probably be like a really simplified silhouette of him,
See, I couldn't see myself having any tattoo though. That's the thing.
That's fair. I mean, it's not for everybody too. So yeah, this question, because it's kind of asking on a more personal level, especially if you don't intimately care about tattoos or understand them or want them yourself. Like, it's a hard question to answer. But thank you so much for the question, Snazzy. I would love when you get your tattoo, dude, take a picture, and if you should send it to us.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I would love to see how that turns out. Thanks so much for the email. So from Tomas, yo guys, when I heard your last podcast 214 and the Jax Champion Spotlight, I was waiting if you will mention the off-meta pick, where you can play Jax to certain success as well, meaning support. I admit I do not know anything about how it would work in high elo games, was around low gold last season, but it's a pretty fun pick. Obviously, as with the other mostly off-meta picks, it highly depends on the pick's composition you are running. That's true of anything, actually. If you are getting in the low elo, if you are in low elo, all damage dealers in every lane, mid, top, jungle, because everybody is only thinking about KDA and killing people, you, as the support, you have to take something tanky, so everybody in the team will have some time to do their damage. I know you can pick some champions like Alistar if he's not banned, or Braum Leona, who can do the job, but only Alistar from then has the non-ultimate multiple people knock-up stun. In addition, with the length of some games, even with tanky support jacks, you can build some damage items, which do well with the overall position. What are your thoughts?
I think it's cool because you're going to want to build Sightstone because then you can war jump to your wars.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we've mentioned this so many times that, like, off-meta supports work, you know what I mean? Like, because it's probably a low-impact role, but there's a reason why certain supports are designed in certain ways, you know what I mean? That's why they're better. But yeah, if you think that, hey, whatever, people are already just going for, like, damage because I'm in low yellow or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that playing a damage support is bad at all. I mean, I think it's absolutely fine.
No, it is fine. The only problem is like, besides the counterattack, I don't really see what CC he really brings to the table. The time mobility, and he can get in there if you're going to land those stuns, but what are the odds and what are the chances of you landing a 4 or 5 man stun?
I think it's more as just a disruptor. Like, you build tanky on him, obviously. Building like Sightstone.
You just stand there and
you just hit shit. You just run and hit stuff, make their AD carry run away from you. I mean, I think it would work fine.
That's fair.
But it's just like, obviously, other like real supports are made to do a lot of things that Jax wouldn't be able to do. But I mean, I think you could win games with it. I think it'd be fine. Like, sure.
All right, and then the roundtable question. I would definitely delete Fizz because fuck him. Life would be so much better without that slippery fish. Attaboy. Anyway, keep up the good work. And what else? I don't know what else I would listen to at work without going crazy from all the coding. Cheers, Tomas. Thank you. Thanks for the email, dude. From Abraham. What's up, baby? Here's my second email. The moment has come for me to spread my knowledge on the legendary AP Varus. Last week, you guys talked about AP Varus, and I feel like you need me to guide you. Let's get right into it. I'm excited about this already. Starting off with runes and masteries. You want to go for the standard AP caster runes, Thunderlord and 45%. And for runes, go with magic hybrid pen, or as reds, HP armor yellows, 15% scaling CDR blues, and AP quints. I'm learning so much already. For starting items, you want to go for the Doran's Blade or Dark Seal. You eventually build it into a Mage Eyes. Your core items are Ludens and Lichbane, and you want that movement speed. Lichbane proc and CDR is nice. You're also going to be getting movement speed if you get 25 stacks of Magi's. Your boots should be, with no exception, Ionian boots of Lucidity to reduce your flash cooldown, crucial to make aggressive plays and escapes, plus the CDR. Your last 2 items will most likely be Rabadoodle's Fedora and Void Staff, a high CDR build with a lot of AP. You should go for Ludens before Lichbane! That's really important. Nashor's Tooth could be an option, but it's amazing one-shotting tanks with a combo. So now that the build is explained, let me explain the essence of AP Varus. You're going to have a relatively easy lane with lots of damage coming from autos and W procs plus Thunderlords. Your main focus is going to be using your ultimate as much as possible, as ultimate should be a kill. It has insane damage and it wins team fights. The new preseason change to Varus ultimate was really good. Let me explain the all-in combo with Varus. So as I said before, an ultimate should be a kill, right? Your ultimate should have a 45-second cooldown with all the CDR he's building, I'm assuming. What you want to do is get 3 W stacks on the enemy and proc it with E. Then, having the E slow apply to the enemy, your ultimate and the proc W stacks with the Q, and then just keep auto-attacking and procking. As a conclusion, play AP Varus. It's basically Freelo, Kappa. Thanks, guys. Love the podcast. P.S. I find it very funny how Aiden uses pretty well instead of pretty much all the fucking time.
Can I say pretty well?
You say pretty well all the time. You really, really do. You're like, pretty well it's because of this, or pretty well it's that.
Yeah, what? That doesn't make sense.
Why? You say pretty well
compared
all the
to
time.
pretty much. Pretty well. Yeah, pretty much it works in way more scenarios than pretty well.
Are you seriously unaware of the fact that you say this?
No, I don't.
Are you really?
Do I say it a lot?
You say it a fuck ton.
like abnormal.
People have emailed us about this before. How? What?
I don't think I say that.
Where's Nick? I need Nick right now.
Do I say it in my vlog?
No. Oh, I don't think so. Maybe you did. It's just part of your vernacular now. I don't
pretty
really
well.
like. It's not.
I don't think I say that at all.
You say pretty well instead of pretty much, like all the time.
Pretty much is definitely the right way to say it, though, right?
All right. Dear listeners of the show, send us an email either confirming or denying mine or Aiden's insanity on this topic, please.
I definitely don't say it that much.
Nick,
maybe once or twice.
Maybe once or twice a year at most. Maybe.
I definitely don't say it that much. I don't think so.
Weird. That's weird, man. No, you definitely say it a lot. Like, it's really... Okay, anyway. Next email. Let's just put this one to bed. Jonas, hi guys. I've been listening to your podcast for about 3 months now. And it's been great. It's started because my roommate got getting tired of me watching TV shows while doing the dishes. So I had to find something else to entertain myself with. Podcasts seem like the obvious choice, and you have the best one. Oh,
ooh, boys.
We love you. I'm probably your biggest fan in Norway. Ooh, you throwing some shade, boy. I've been wanting to donate a little cash, but I'm a broke-ass student in a super expensive country, so making the ends meet is kind of hard to begin with. Dude, don't worry about it.
Dude, his love is as much money as we need.
Yeah, you just said we were the best podcast, so we already love you. Anywho, for the past year and a half or so, I have really been struggling with finding a champion to invest my time in, so I was hoping you could help. I am an AD carry main.
Oh.
I used to main Tristana way back in early Season 4 when she was crazy OP late game. What a time to be alive that was. That's when I quit playing League for a little bit. I usually just sat in bot lane and farmed until I had 4 items, then burned through the entire enemy team in one team fight. They can never catch me because of crazy-ass auto-attack range and jump reset. But after the rework, she changed. She's still really good, but her power spikes are different. Probably for the better, but not better for my win rate. Her late game is now matched with the likes of Twitch and Jinx and Vayne, who I probably used to melt into 2 crits and crazy ass auto attack range. Now destroys me before I can even get to her as Trist as she is now, right? Ever since this glorious time, I've been struggling with finding a good replacement, and I was hoping you could help. I was wondering what kind of AD carry I should spend time and effort learning to carry myself out of silver. I used Caitlyn last year and to get out of bronze. But somehow it feels like her carry potential is somewhat weak, unless you have a great support with good peel. My usual problem is AD carry is watching my entire team dive the enemy backline, and as the 4 of them go in, I'm staying alone with all the enemy frontline in between me and them. I know I need to focus whatever is closest and safest, but that's not necessarily true. But when this happens... Huh?
It is a lot of the time.
Yeah. But when this happens, I am usually forced to just back away from the entire fight, and then hearing my teammates flaming me for not being there while enemy Pantheon is chasing me through our jungle. Wow, that is such a relatable moment. But playing someone like Caitlyn or Ashe usually gives me little to no choice. This actually happens more often than you should think. And then he goes on to say, it was a long text email for a simple question. So, should I find someone late game for myself and farm for myself, or find someone you can shut down the enemy with early? What kind of AD carry should I play with single player carry potential? All that sort of stuff. I was really hoping Jin would be great, but no.
I'm sorry.
Before you answer, I should make you aware that I have been considering Vayne, but I think she is such an asshole champion. I could never sleep at night if I started maining her. Aiden. This is probably ruining your answer. Best regards, or whatever you say in your language, Jonas. So, what AD carry should he invest his time into if he's looking for solo carry potential?
So it's more for carry, because if it was just for own personal gain, I would say Vayne. Because Vayne is the most fun character to play if you can play her properly in the entire game, in my opinion. Just because of that play potential. But it sounds like you want to carry, and Vayne, despite her being a carry, you're not. No one's going to be able to carry with her because she's so fucking. I can't carry with her. I played her 37 games in a row, and I was still awful with her. She's hard. Anyways, if you want to carry, you're going to play one of 3 champions, my friend, in solo queue. One of them being Lucian. Lucian shits in lane, like he just shits in lane, like just doesn't have any respect. Like he's honestly just crazy good. Not only that, he does magic damage also. Magic damage is important because physical damaged characters are OP right now because their items are cheaper than AP characters. So therefore, you having magic damage on your team is really beneficial. That's why him and Corki are also very, very good champions for the current game state. And then my third champion I would mention would be Tristana, because I think Tristana's dueling potential is in this current meta is crazy, and she has escapes. I don't know. I just think overall Tristana is really, really strong. I would say Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw's going to get nerfed, so don't play him. But yes, I would personally, if I had to choose 2 of those, it would be Corki and Lucian. Corki is harder to play, in my opinion, and he has some weird mechanics with the package. But holy shit, dude! Whenever I have Illusion on my team, I'm just happy because like I know he can do a lot of damage. I know he can competently win lane, and I feel like caster ADs are just really, really good in a team fight. They're much harder to shut down than other AD carries, just due to their innate mobility and mixed damage. So I think Lucian would be my number one pick, followed by Corki, just because the magic damage split, the mobility, and the lane carry potential are all really, really important for solo queue.
I would agree. My one suggestion is just Ezreal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ezreal, but like he's just so much different than the champions that he mentioned, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, but the case made for Ezreal is a really simple one, right? He's safe, does a lot of damage, he works well with a lot of supports.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's pretty much it. And like I feel what you're saying about Caitlyn, and I know what you're saying about Ashe too. Like these low mobility, high potential like poke champions, yes, they can carry, but yeah, dude, it does rely on a good support that is working with you and is in your corner. So, I mean, you need a high mobility, safe champion that will make it so that you don't have to rely on your support sometimes.
Dude, it sounds like he's not stuck in the past season of playing like Jinx and Sivir, though, so you're already making a good step forward. Because I still see people coming around games who are like, I haven't played League in a couple months. I'm going to pick Sivir, or I'm going to pick Jinx. And I'm like, no, they're not good anymore. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just pick caster ADs, or actually every single caster AD is good. I was going to say or Ezreal, but Ezreal is caster AD.
Yeah, there you go.
They're all mobile.
Cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Jonas. Thanks so much for writing in. And we got 2 Facebook messages. The first from a Mr. Tom. Hey guys, here's Tom from Wales. Been listening to your podcast since episode 190-ish. And first of all, I got to say I listen to you mostly while working, window cleaning. And people really must look at me and think, why is he laughing at this window? He's only cleaning it. Yet do they know that I have the LeagueCast screw in my headphones. Just really, first of many messages to say hi to you lads and hi to this supposed biggest UK fan. We'll see, my friend. Wink emoticon. Keep up the great work and keep me laughing with your banter. Absolutely, buddy. You got it. All right. So this next one is kind of different from anything else we ever really do. It's a link. It's a shout out to a listener's Extra Life stream. So if you remember, we talked about a listener who he emailed in a while ago about time prioritization and time management when he has a family. He works a lot and stuff like that, and he also wants to play League and get better at it, right? So, hey guys, been a long time listeners since season 3. I emailed a few weeks ago asking for advice on ranking while having all friends in higher elo, and I'm in bronze 3. I just another child, and I don't play until my family is taken care of. Anyways, I wanted to let you guys know that I am participating in a streamathon for 24 hours this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. again. I will live streaming my placements in League, currently at 0 matches played, and playing League for most of the night. However, I do plan on switching between League and an FPS called Squad. That's irrelevant. Anyways, I was wondering if it'd be possible, give a shout out, which is we're doing and stuff like that. I just want you guys to know that your show really does help people. But I would, and I know how putting your life events on hold can be difficult. So from a very sincere standpoint, thank you for keeping LeagueCast going. I've thoroughly enjoyed it over the past few years. The biggest highlight about this stream and the reason I'm sharing it is twofold, right? First of all, this man who sent us this email before raised a really, really good question that generated a lot of really good discussion about time management and all that stuff, right? That was really great. And so if you want to see somebody like that playing this game, maybe you can relate in a lot of ways. This could be a great learning opportunity for you to go and see somebody that's playing like this, right? And is doing his placement matches from 0 for a long period of time, right? That could be interesting, right? He says he's bronze level. So go see this person play, see how he does in this sort of setting, see if, what you can glean from him, even if you're higher than bronze, right? And then secondly, the Extra Life stream stuff is really great. You should be supporting things like this in the first place. Any sort of gaming related charity is really, really great because we have this nice ecosystem of like support that we have going on with all of this different stuff, from corners of podcasting for people that do like YouTube series to people that do, that stream all the time on Twitch, on Zubu, when they do, even professional players and stuff like that. Like when they do these streaming things like that, it's pretty important to kind of support this. So I just want to make a mention of it. I will throw the link to his stream. This is from Kirk, by the way, if you don't recall from when we had him before, from Kirk Sharrow. I will link his Extra Life stream information in the show notes for this episode 215. So if you're so inclined, on Saturday, that is what date is that? That's the 20th? Yes, it's the 20th this week. He's going to be streaming from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. He didn't say what time zone. But, 24 hours, so sometime during the day on Saturday. Go give a peek and give him a hard time. And some love. So, yeah. That's it for Mail Fight. Do you have anything to say about that last one, Aiden? I don't think so.
No, but I'll be sure to check out the stream at some point during that day. Yeah. It'd be cool.
Absolutely. So that's it for Mail Fight. If you guys have any messages at all, anything that you want to send to us, it could be questions, comments, it could be feedback, it could be cool Kindred tattoo pictures, it could be ask us personal questions, be weird, I don't care, it's fine. Send those emails to mail@leaguecastpodcast.com, and I do infrequently, but I try to do at least once a week, check the Facebook messages, and we throw them on the show as well. So thank you for everybody that has been sending them in. This past month and a half of the increased amount of emails we're getting from you guys has been incredible. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. And with that, that's the end of the show, Aiden. Can you believe we made it without a Nick Cooper?
We don't need him anyways.
That's fucking right, and you can tell him that. Visit our website at warfinch.com. Follow us on Twitter at LeagueCast. Like us on Facebook. Just search for the LeagueCast podcast. Join our public TeamSpeak server, right? So download the TeamSpeak 3 client, and the TeamSpeak server address is ts.leaguecastpodcast.com. Hop on in, play some games, make some new friends and stuff like that. It's a good time. There's no password by the way. It's open and public and all that stuff. And then finally, help support us and what we do here at WarFinch Media and LeagueCast specifically by taking a look at our Patreon page. It's a way to help support the show while also getting some pretty cool stuff for doing so. So that's Patreon, patreon.com/WarFinch. That's WarFinch. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for listening to us and making us part of your week. We love you, kind of. In a not weird way, but okay,
in a pretty weird way.
In a pretty weird. No, you're right. Thanks so much. Bye bye.
Ciao.